I'd like to introduce myself and I'd like you to introduce yourself. My name is Kim Garst. I'm an online business strategist. I love helping people grow their businesses using digital and social media. If, like I say, if you're brand new, just drop in hashtag new and your name. Love to meet you. So this is Max. Many of you guys have been asking because Max has had a rough start to his little life. We got him a couple of weeks ago, and he got really sick. He ended up with parvo, and it was touch and go for a while, but he's home and doing very well. So we're excited. He may be a little loud and boisterous today, but hopefully he won't distract us too awful much, but no promises. Hey, Prashant, good to see you again. I'm glad you're here. All the way from India too. So what time is it where you are? And then Jenny, good morning, Jenny. Glad you're here. Today we have a wonderful guest, like normal. We usually have an amazing guest. Hey, Edward. Max is, hopefully, like I say, he does good for us. Ooh, he may bark. We'll see. We have a wonderful guest, and we're going to be talking about YouTube. And it's kind of I've been fascinated by the journey that this gentleman has taken with his YouTube. And so I asked him to come and talk to us about it. So you're going to learn a lot of really great stuff if you are trying to figure out how to leverage YouTube or want to. There's a lot of talk about YouTube. I think a lot of talk about YouTube and LinkedIn these days. It's not like these platforms are really new, but there's a renewed interest in them, and with good reason. So I'm excited about our special guest today. So if you want to learn some great things about getting started on YouTube and optimizing YouTube for your business, then you're definitely in the right place. Today, like always, we always do some giveaways. We're going to do a ring light so that you have a great light source for your camera if you're the winner, and then a little webcam cover in case so that people can't spy on you. You can cover it up. You don't have to use the stickies anymore. And we're also giving away our sponsor, which is easel.com. 3 winners will be chosen for a 3-month trial of Easel. I did a tutorial, I think it was Thursday of last week, on some clever things that Easel does that some of the other what's the word I'm looking for? Graphic design tools don't do. So check that out. It's actually on my fan page or business page. You can check that out in the video section. The way you win, let's talk about that real quick. If you want to win one of these prizes, then as we're sharing great content and our special guest says something that's like a zinger, just type in AHA, like hashtag AHA, and share what you picked up. Sometimes those things are new. Sometimes they're just, cementing something you already knew, but you haven't taken action on. But drop those AHAs in, and we will pick a winner from those that share. So Rebecca is a winner of the ring light. Yay. And she got it and is loving it. Excellent. Rebecca, I'm glad you're here again. She's a regular here on the show. So always appreciative of the time you guys spend with me. Okay, so I want to ask one other small favor, because I feel like this is going to be so value-based to a lot of people, maybe people that aren't here right now. Hint, hint. Can you sprinkle out into the world by letting other people know about this, and hit that button that allows you to put it out into the world, pass it on, so that others can come join us or see the content later, all right? Because it's going to be super awesome. So let me tell you about our special guest today. Like I say, I'm always excited about our special guests. Rob, let me share a little bit about how I know Rob. I met Rob originally when he was working for an online platform called Thinkific. Many of you may have heard of Thinkific. It's a great course website. And since then, Rob has become an evangelist for TubeBuddy. He's no longer working with Thinkific. He's over at TubeBuddy. He speaks a lot of online conferences right now, just because we're currently doing the whole COVID thing, right? But he's a very active. A lot of people are constantly picking his brain on his knowledge base, but he creates a lot of content on his own channels, primarily LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll definitely make sure you can connect to him on those platforms. He does a lot of video marketing and creation strategies, live streaming tips. I love that. Tools and software. And you guys know I love my tools and software. So he loves to help others figure out how to help themselves. So I love that about him. When he's not working, just on a personal note, he is a husband and a dad. He loves to travel, drink coffee, yes, and explore new places with his family. So like I say, we'll definitely make sure you guys know how to connect to Rob, because he is a sweetheart. You're going to want to learn from him in the future for sure. Okay, so everybody give a big hand of welcome. Welcome, Rob.
Hey, Kim. Good to be here. Nice and early for me anyway, but really awesome. Thanks for inviting me over to your show. This is an awesome experience.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. So let me ask you about the coffee thing. So do you have a favorite coffee?
Yeah, I'm simple. Americanos, and then also I'm in Canada. So if there's any Canadians in the crowd, I love a double from Tim Hortons. That's my go-to.
Oh, yes. So Tim Hortons. So my boys played hockey all through their
Oh,
youth,
of
right?
course.
Of
Yep.
course, yeah, we live in Florida, so you had to go
Hmm.
travel every weekend somewhere because we're in
Yep.
Florida,
Yep.
So we did a lot of trips to Canada, and would you be quiet? Sorry.
It's okay.
And Tim Hortons was always a huge hit. The boys loved the donuts, obviously.
Oh
So, and
yeah.
the little donut holes, they call them something Timbits, right? Yeah, I got
Timbits.
it.
Oh yes.
I can't
Yes.
believe
Yes.
I almost was like, what did they call them? And then, yeah, it came to me. So, well,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
excited that
awesome.
you're here. I appreciate you being here. So I know, like I said, you transitioned from Thinkific to TubeBuddy, and you started
Mm-hmm.
your own YouTube channel. What was that journey like, and like how long ago, roughly?
Yeah, the so I started my YouTube channel in October 2018, so almost 2 years ago. So this was well before me even thinking about joining TubeBuddy or any conversations with TubeBuddy. This was me while I was at Thinkific and trying to understand, YouTube before I started applying. Then taking over the Thinkific YouTube channel, and so that's kind of how I usually work. If I was going to approach LinkedIn, for example, for Thinkific when I was at Thinkific, I would kind of mess around with my own personal LinkedIn profile first and kind of see how it works and kind of use my own personal channels as a guinea pig to learn and understand the platform before I applied it, to Thinkific. And so, yeah, so I started my YouTube channel in October 2018, was uploading every now and then, like most people on YouTube, trying to figure out what the heck is YouTube and how do I do this thing and how do I show up in search and all this stuff and how do I even make videos? What do I make videos about? And so I was a very much a typical, very brand new to YouTube person. So yeah, I started to do that, and then I would say probably about a year ago, I started really thinking very seriously about YouTube because I was very much creating a lot of content and building a personal brand and an audience on LinkedIn, which was awesome. I still do that today. But I started to kind of feel like, okay, how do I get to in front of more people, and be discovered by, other people that may be interested in my content a lot easier. And so I felt like LinkedIn was a little bit more of a box, and it wasn't something that would be searchable, on Google and things like that. So I started looking at YouTube very seriously and really trying to understand how YouTube works even more. And I came across TubeBuddy, before still well before I joined TubeBuddy as a team member, and started using TubeBuddy and starting to use that tool to do keyword research and all those sorts of things. And so my channel started to grow. I think a year ago I had about 60 or so subscribers, and then now I'm close to about 2,000. So still just a drop in the bucket, in the big scheme of things on YouTube. But it's been a fun journey, to date.
Yeah. And, I think a lot of people can, hopefully is hearing that, that you just, like a lot of us, we sign up for a YouTube account just because we think we have to. And sometimes we throw a couple of things up there, but it's not intentional, right? It's just like haphazard. It's whatever. And then about a year ago, you're saying you got intentional, you started creating content for YouTube, and now you have roughly 2,000 subscribers, which I think is realistic. Like, is like, and probably your content's really starting to gain a lot of traction now, because of the efforts you put in or in the past year. So next thing I would love to know is, because I've definitely got a renewed interest in YouTube. And so my question to you is, I mentioned this in the intro, was I think there's a lot of new interest around YouTube and LinkedIn in particular. So since we're talking specifically YouTube right now, why YouTube and why now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Thanks, Kim. So I think with YouTube, for me, again, I can only speak for myself here. So I think, my interest with YouTube was that it was searchable, right? And so your content is out there. People are searching Google. There's so much search happening on Google and then also on YouTube. It's a search engine. I mean, that's not news to anyone here, hopefully. And so I wanted to get in front of as many people as possible with the tutorials that I was sharing and the message that I was trying to share, and help reach as many people and help them along that journey. So that's really why I gravitated to YouTube, because I knew that if you put it out there, and even to date, I'm starting to realize that is true. There's videos that I created a year ago that people are still searching, they're finding, they're commenting, they're still finding it very relevant. And so that's really the reason why I gravitated to YouTube. And I knew that if I had put the same video, let's say on LinkedIn, or maybe, a different platform, maybe even Facebook, that yes, you would still reach people there, no problem. But to a certain degree, the shelf life of that piece of content, that video, would be much longer on YouTube. So that's really the main reason I wanted to have a long shelf life. Now that video, and I'm sure we'll talk about this today, Kim, but that video that you put up on YouTube, that I put up on YouTube, doesn't just go on YouTube. I would repurpose and take micro content from that, little, bite-sized clips, and I would still share it on other channels as well. And then driving from LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram stories or Instagram TV up to YouTube. And so that's kind of where my main content would live. And so that's really why, YouTube kind of really caught my attention.
Yeah, I've been really digging into that here on the team from the perspective of exactly what you just said. Where can we put content that it's going to give us the most bang? Is it, and I think honestly, YouTube is at the top of the pile, outside of SEO, where, you're driving traffic from the Google machine. Then you've got YouTube. Right. Pinterest is another great place because it drives traffic. Consistently. Like a tweet, for example, has a lifespan of 30 seconds. It's not going to have and people, you might say, well, some people are going to find you, via the hashtag, but the reality of it is YouTube has search functionality, and people, what do you know the stats off the top of your head? I think I'll say, well, I'm going to say one, and I don't know if it's right, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But it seems like I read somewhere that 70% of the content that's seen on YouTube is found via search. Is that
accurate? I think
Roughly?
That's pretty close. Yeah, there's a huge amount of search, and so even for my channel, which is a lot of my content on my personal channel is tutorial based. even with TubeBuddy, which I contribute to as well, all of our content is really meant to be search-based. It's a lot of tutorials, how-tos, that sort of thing, strategies, step-by-steps. And so we want it to be very search-based, and that's what we position it for. And so, that's the majority of our searches. In the beginning, maybe in the first 48 hours, 72 hours of our videos, there might be, sort of the number one driving traffic source might be external, meaning, Facebook posts or tweets or a LinkedIn post or even our email newsletter. But certainly after about 72 hours or so, that's when YouTube starts picking it up, recommending it, suggesting it. It shows up in search. And so that's really what we want to do. People that don't know us yet, but are looking for an answer to a problem or understand some type of how to do something. We want our videos to show up in the search results to those new people, and then hopefully then start attracting them to our channel, and then down, the funnel of, content that we have from the channel into our website and so on.
Yeah, I love that. That's a very smart strategy. But I think the really keep that question up there just for a second. But I wanted to just say, I think the important part that I want everybody to really understand is that, you can have subscribers to your YouTube channel, and then you definitely want that. We're going to talk about how you get there. But the reality is people are going to find you via search if you've optimized your content. And that's so huge. I mean, you could technically end up with way more, visibility through the search functionality than you do through just, the amount of subscribers you have. So that's a powerful thing. So I hope I'm saying your name right. If I butcher it, my bad. So Andrea, hopefully I said that correctly, wants us to explain more about create once, use many models. I think that's the repurposing thing. I think that's what she's asking. Like, you create the content and then you do the snippet thing. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Sure. Yeah, really quick. So for me, again, this is what I would suggest. This is what we do is we take the full, let's say it's a 10-minute video. It's a 5-step tutorial or a 5 bullet point tutorial, 5 ways to reach more people using live streams, for example, is a really hot topic. And so let's say we make that video. It's 10 minutes long. We put that up on YouTube. Now you take each of those 5 bullet points. They may be 60 seconds, 90 seconds long, and then you chop it up into small little bite-sized videos. You may want to put a little introduction saying, hey, in this video, I'm going to share one really hot tip on how to reach more people using live streams. By the way, if you want to hear all 5 tips, you can click the link to watch the entire video on YouTube where I share 4 more additional tips. And you can share that little 60 or 90-second video on LinkedIn, on IGTV, on Facebook, and then essentially drive them up sort of your content pyramid. And so that's how we look at it. YouTube is at the top of that content pyramid, and then each step below is a shorter video. It could also be in a form of some type of blog post, or it can be in some form of like written post or social image, but essentially driving it all up to the top of your content pyramid, which is on YouTube. And then that's where in the description you would have links, calls to action to your free download or free PDF or free course or some type of lead magnet to then extract emails and sort of get an email list building, from YouTube. And so that's how we kind of look at it. So one video can create a ton of content, and then all pointing up to your YouTube video.
Yeah, and then you have touch points at various places where your community could potentially, one existing community could see you, and then if they share it, can get into other people's communities as well. So we do that with this show too, by the way. So even though this show is not technically we are live on YouTube. So, but we take the content and we split it up, into snippets, and then we do quote tiles too. So like Rob, when you say amazing stuff, we'll create an image for that for, maybe LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever. We share it at all the places. Yes. And then we drive traffic back to the original the original link, the original show, in other words. So you can use that strategy, and honestly, it's just so wicked smart instead of worrying about
Yeah.
trying to create new content all the time. But I do have one question around that. So
Sure.
you talked about how you pull the snippets out of your, like, if it's 5 ways to do X, you pull each 5 things out and you position it, like you can see the rest of it. Do you create those snippets at this, like the intro to that video, at the same time you create the content, with the same clothes on and all that, or do you like do it later?
It depends. Sometimes I try to do that at the same sort of the same take, same filming session, just because the cameras are already set up and all those things. Sometimes I do it after, after you're editing. Just depends on the timing. So if you're able to schedule it into your filming session for the original like YouTube video filming, then yes, just do it there. That way you don't have to do any additional filming after. One of the things I suggest people with YouTube, especially, is try to have a checklist. So for me, I use, Trello. You could use Asana. You could use Monday.com. There's lots of tools out there, but just have some type of checklist, because there are so many steps. When you are creating videos, the bullet points to your talk, how you're going to be editing, how you're going to be promoting your videos, all those things. There's just so many steps. And I was editing a video yesterday, and I forgot this one step. We usually put this little subscribe animation that comes out of our videos. I forgot to put it, and I've already uploaded the videos. So, if you don't have a checklist, it's a little harder. But with YouTube, the nature of YouTube is just there's so many little steps to having success on YouTube that it's really good to have a checklist.
Love that. That's such a great and wicked smart tip there. I think that's true, honestly, for so many things. Is, if you don't have a checklist
Hmm.
for it, you inevitably, even things that you do like over and over and over again, there's going to be a day when you forget something. So
Yeah.
having a checklist is smart. Okay, so is YouTube for every type of business?
That's a really good question. Yes, I would say so. I've seen so many, and the reason I say that is that I've seen so many different characters, so many different businesses on YouTube. I think if it's something that you will search for, if you're a business that somebody will look for on Google, then you need to also be on YouTube. If you search for something on Google, you'll find that sometimes you'll actually see YouTube videos pop up in the search results, and not just down below, but like right at the top of the search results. YouTube Google owns YouTube. So as like any business, they're cross promoting their products. And so if you're searching on YouTube, on Google, they want you to, if there's a good resource that will answer your search or your question on Google, then they want you to also head over to YouTube and watch some videos. That way, how do they make money? They make money because they can serve you ads. They can show ads in the videos, before the videos, in the middle of the videos. And so they want you to stay on their platforms. And so if you are, plumbers, if you are in the trades, if you are in any sort of business, you should definitely be creating videos on YouTube. Start with your FAQs. If you have a website, or if you have, if you don't have a website yet, then you kind of look around your competitors, go to their websites, look at the FAQs. What are the questions that your potential customers are asking, and start creating videos around those, short videos, just answering frequently asked questions. Because those will be the same questions that will likely be putting into Google or YouTube. And so rather than having a website pop up, then your videos will start popping up, if you optimize it properly. But yeah, so start creating videos around those. And yeah, there's just so many different types of channels and topics that people talk about on YouTube. I don't think I've seen all of them, but there's something about everything on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. And, honestly, that is the thing that I think is fascinating too, is if you need to know something, you just go to YouTube and you Google it. I mean, or
Yeah.
go to YouTube. You do it both ways. To your point, I've done it both ways, where I just go to Google, I
Yeah.
Google it, and then I just click videos and I watch videos on YouTube about how to solve my problem. Right. So I
That's right.
think that you can do it either way. Obviously, Google owns YouTube, which means that they are going to surface YouTube content.
Hmm.
It's just what they're going to do. So
That's right.
when it comes to this magic number for subscribers, I know a lot of people will say you got to get to your first 1,000 subscribers. Is there some significance to the 1,000 number?
Yeah, there's so the main significance with the 1000 is monetization. So to get monetized, meaning to be able to run ads on your videos, you need two things: 1000 subscribers and also 4000 hours of watch time for the last 12 months. And so that's why the 1000 subscriber mark milestone is quite important for a lot of creators that are looking to monetize their content, their videos, their channel. And so yeah, so that's really it. That's why on YouTube you'll find a lot of tutorials on how to get to your first 1000. Some of them are good, some of them are really you need to kind of really pay attention to the advice that they're giving you, because sometimes they are a little bit a little bit sort of black hat, I guess. It's not super, it's not super, like, it's kind of frowned upon. But for the most part, there's lots of really great tutorials on YouTube on how to get your first 1,000 subscribers from some of the experts out there. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, is monetization. That's why the 1,000 subscriber mark is very important.
Awesome. So when it comes to finding or getting, let me restate that, getting to that first mile marker, which is that 1,000 subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been on this journey. So what is your top one or two strategies that has really helped you get to that mark?
Yeah. Actually, there's actually did this. Actually, was thinking about this, and there's actually five, if that's okay. I'll share really quick, really quick. The first one is collaborations. Again, just looking at my own journey on YouTube since last year, what's helped my channel grow, and kind of there's always trial and error. So the first thing is collaborations. Things like this, invite other creators in your space, and don't look at them as competitors, because there's so much business out there for everyone, whatever space you're in. There's tons of clients, customers, members for your memberships. And so do collaborations. People love seeing people that they both follow anyway. So collaborations has been really key for me. Also, when you do collaborations, Kim, as you know, like this one, the person you're collaborating with will share that piece of content with their audience. And so it's a very organic way of you getting in front of a new audience that is already interested in your content, because the person you're interviewing or collaborating with is in your space. And so it's really easy to get in front of new people. And so that's the first one. Consistency is huge. So before a year ago, I was just uploading maybe every couple months, every 6 weeks, kind of whenever I thought that I'd have time. But now I upload twice a week, sometimes once a week, but very consistently, at least once a week. So if you're new to YouTube, you need to put out a lot of content. It's just the way that, the thing works, right? And so you need to put out a lot of content so that it can be searched, it can be found, it can be shared by Google and recommended, by YouTube and recommended. And so consistency, upload at least once a week. And that's also going to be good for you as a content creator, because you'll understand how to edit, how to come up with a topic, how to talk to a camera. It gives you a lot of practice to be a content creator. The third thing is keyword research. So keyword research is very important. I used to just create a video on something that I thought would be really good for my audience, and then do the keyword research afterwards, and realize that my video was kind of cornered in to a very competitive keyword. And so that video would never really go far. And so I put a lot of work into creating, filming, editing a video that really didn't get too much traction, because I didn't do the research. So do the research first, and then find the opportunities inside of YouTube for your content, and then create the video. And then the last two things is community building. So I've really started to focus on building a community on YouTube. A lot of people don't realize that you can really build an awesome community within YouTube. Inside the videos, in the comments, there's a community tab as well on YouTube. So you can definitely build a community there. The best way that I build a community on YouTube is on live streams, actually. So you get that engagement. So you get to answer questions, really learn who your audience is on YouTube. And it's a great way to understand their pain points, and how you can help them. And then the last thing is, for me, I've always tried to be a student and still stay a student. I have a very small channel in the big scheme of things on YouTube. So always staying as a student. When I interview, I have a live show on the TubeBuddy channel called Creators Corner. And I get to talk to a lot of big, creators with large channels. And the one thing that really stands out at me is that all of them, they're all still students of the game, students of YouTube, and they are still listening to other creators, their peers. And so they're still continually learning how this thing works and how to improve. So always just be a student. So those are the really 5 things. I think if I had learned or known these things to focus on a year ago, I probably wouldn't have taken 18 months to get to 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, you learn, right? So so that's, I would say, the 5 things.
Awesome. And it's interesting that you said that community is one of your strategies because, I've been like, anytime I get interested in a platform and I'm going to devote time and energy to it, I'm like, okay, we need to get smart on it. We need to see what other people are doing and, that kind of stuff. And so I did some quick research. And one of the things I stumbled across literally by accident was Pat Flynn's channel. He started really digging into YouTube fairly recently. He's had a YouTube channel, but really getting intentional with it, which is basically where I feel like I am, is like, I've just, I've been throwing stuff up there. Like I was like you, I still am, throwing stuff up there, hope something sticks, and, that kind of stuff. But anytime you're going to be serious about a platform, you need to get smart on it. But anyway, going back to the Pat Flynn story, he's really doing, I think, a great job with the community building. He's developed what I would call more of a show environment there, where he's having fun with people and he's, there's some gamification going on and some other stuff. So if that would be another channel just to take a look at if you're interested in building community on YouTube. Definitely check out Rob's though as well. But I noticed that Pat was doing that, and I thought that was super cool. So great question. I'm thinking, thank you for surfacing it back up here, Jeff. Is what do you use to edit with, Rob?
Yeah, good question. So I used to just use iMovie. So if you're a Mac user, you've got iMovie already. So there's no excuse. But I used iMovie for a long time. I would say up until about a few months ago, I started using Camtasia just to kind of, I guess, level up my editing and have some additional features. Since I do a lot of tutorial videos sharing my screen, I really found Camtasia to be really easy because within a click, you can right away just record your screen. After the recording is done of your screen, kind of showing them around your desktop, then it would take that video and put it right into the timeline on Camtasia. So loving Camtasia. So that's kind of what I use.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Camtasia too. I've used it forever, but I've used iMovie too. And, sometimes if you're creating content on your phone, there's some great phone apps that you can leverage too. So, there's so much, so many great tools these days that there's really no excuse, honestly, for us not to embrace this. It's just a matter of being intentional with it and having a plan for it, which leads me to my next question, which is about content. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about content. I know that we've established the whole, you should get to 1,000, and we've got some strategies for people who want to get there. But then the next thing really that's going to feed all of that to get your growth going is content. So what are some good types of content that you can share on YouTube that people are searching for? You've told us a few, but let's kind of streamline a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Good question. Content and coming up with ideas for videos is always, sometimes it's a struggle because you don't have any, like you can't come up with an idea, or sometimes it's a struggle because you have too much. I think a lot of people that are they're experts in their, in their respectable space, their niche, or niche. So it's just, you have way too many ideas. Right. And so if you have really big ideas, you're like, hey, this is how to start a live stream show, for example. It's a very big idea. It's a very big topic. It's something that would probably take multiple videos and hours of, tutorial videos to tell you, okay, this is how you start a live show. And so, if you have a very big idea like that, how to start a podcast or how to start a business or how to start something like really big, then think about creating a series on YouTube, where you break it up into really short videos. The thing with YouTube is one of the biggest metrics that a lot of the YouTube creators really pay attention to is watch time. So what watch time is how much of a video is a viewer watching? So are they watching 10%, 50%, 100%, of that video? And so that's something that YouTube pays attention to, because they want people that are watching as much of your videos, so that they're not leaving and going off to Facebook or Instagram or another website, or just leaving YouTube, because they want people on YouTube watching videos so that they can serve them ads. Again, understand how YouTube works and what YouTube wants out of this. And so, so coming up with content, if you have an idea, then do the keyword research first. Like I said, people in general, tutorial kind of videos do really well for us. That's our goal, and answering questions. So if you are an expert, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a coach, consultant, you represent a brand, then look at the questions that people are asking and just answer those questions. But don't answer too many questions in one video, because people are not searching multiple questions. They're searching one question at a time. And so answer one question. If that takes you 2 minutes, perfect. That's a 2-minute video. If that question takes, 10 minutes or 20 minutes, perfect. Then create that 20-minute video. Don't make a video longer than it needs to be. Make it as long as you want, but as short as possible. I think that's a quote that I got from Sean Cannell. He probably got it from someone else, but that's something that's really resonated with me since I heard that, because I always try to figure out, okay, what's the sweet spot for a video length? Should it be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? It really depends on the content, right? And so do your keyword research. Going back to how do you come up with content? Do your keyword research, look around, and type in things type in search terms on, say, Google or YouTube. Obviously TubeBuddy, this is what TubeBuddy is built for, is Keyword Explorer, and understanding your opportunities for different topics. And so once you have that, then note down those keywords that you have an opportunity to rank for, and then don't just create one video, create multiple videos around that keyword. So if it's live streaming, for example, how to live stream on Facebook, how to live stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. What's a good video? What's a good camera for live streaming? That sort of thing. How do I get LinkedIn Live? So have a core topic, and then branching out of that topic, have multiple videos. That way you start dominating and owning and having authority in that search term on YouTube. So that's really it. If you don't have any ideas, then I would say looking around, again, FAQs on websites, to go to different blogs in your niche, and you'll find things that people are asking. And then those are good indicators of topics.
Yeah. One thing that I really keyed in on that you said, and you said it in the previous answer too, it was something unrelated but sort of related, and it was the research. Do the research before you do anything else, right? So that begs the next question: is the best way to do that with a tool, or is there some other way? Like, I know, obviously, you work at TubeBuddy, and it's a great resource for that. Yeah. But how do you do research when is it a tool? And if it is a tool, what do you just type in keyword, related things that you think around your business, or what does that look like for somebody who's like, well, okay, that sounds great, but how do I do that?
Yeah. There's a number of tools out there. There's keywords everywhere. I think there's you go to Google and you go to YouTube. If you type in terms, then they will suggest terms for you. So those are great. Those are great starting points because it gives you ideas. Now, the next step on that would be a tool. And again, I guess it is a bit of a plug, but that's kind of what TubeBuddy is for. So the next thing is not just to have different ideas, because if you have a list of, say, 20 keywords, it's really hard to know which one should I go after first without having a scoring system and without understanding your opportunities. So with TubeBuddy, what TubeBuddy does is actually it connects directly with your YouTube channel. So TubeBuddy will overlay on top of your YouTube channel. We're a YouTube partner, so we have access to the YouTube and Google Trends data. And so we overlay that on top of your channel, looking at your content, looking at your data, looking at your subscribers and all those things. And then we essentially can tell you how your channel would rank and score for different keywords. So, for example, if I was trying to rank for, let's say, how to be a keynote speaker, my score would definitely not be as good as Kim's score, because Kim is an awesome keynote speaker and she creates a lot of content. Let's just say she creates a lot of content on being a speaker or being a business coach, right? So it depends. So there's going to be different scores for everyone because it takes into account your channel. And so that's really the next step. So then that way you can prioritize, again, where your efforts will go. Because if you don't, then you sort of are just creating videos and kind of putting them out there. And there's a lot of guesswork. And so that's kind of what, that's where TubeBuddy will help you take the guesswork out of making the decisions on where your content fits best on YouTube and where your opportunities are best at YouTube based on your channel.
Love that. So when it comes to like being found on YouTube, because the next thing is, okay, I got content up there. I done my research. I've created content and it's up on YouTube. Does YouTube give you, do they show your content to similar audiences? When people are searching or they recommend you, let me restate that. When they recommend you, do they recommend you to similar audiences or people who might be interested in your content based off of what? That would be the next question.
Yeah. They definitely do. So there's such thing as recommended and suggested, and so YouTube will definitely recommend your content to other people that are watching channels close to yours, similar to your content. So this happens. So then the next question is, how do I get my channel in front of those people? So with YouTube, how it works is that they look at signals, right? And so there's such things as channel tags. So if you go to your YouTube channel, there's channel tags. And so those are sort of the keywords that you are putting and associating your channel with, business coach, consultant, whatever it is, YouTube live expert, you're associating your channel with specific keywords and tags. And so then YouTube gets those signals and they look at other channels. Okay, what other channels have these tags? And so if someone watched, let's say my channel, like, okay, cool, Rob has some channel around LinkedIn Live. Okay, now this viewer has watched all of Rob's LinkedIn Live videos. Who else has LinkedIn Live content out there, right? And so they'll look around, they'll look at who other, Judy Fox or whoever else has, LinkedIn Live content on their YouTube channel. They'll recommend, Judy's channel or Brian's channel or, Stephanie's channel. So they'll recommend them to that viewer because, again, YouTube wants that viewer to stay on YouTube. So if that viewer is only on YouTube for LinkedIn Live videos and how-tos on LinkedIn Live, then they're going to say, okay, well, Rob's run out of this content. So is there any other supply for this type of product, which is LinkedIn Live videos on other channels? So they'll start recommending, and that's kind of how it works, in sort of like very general terms. And so going down more deep into that is that your videos, having the tags, having the title, having the description, all those things, YouTube is reading all that information, all that, it's called metadata. And so they're reading all that metadata. YouTube is also transcribing your videos, right? So even if you don't have closed captions, YouTube is transcribing your videos, your audio, and taking your words, your spoken word, and turning it into written word, and that's part of the SEO. And so that's how they also understand, what is this video really about? And so then it kind of puts you into different categories depending on the type of content you're creating, and based on that, they'll find viewers for your video. So yeah, as long as you're, again, you know your space. This is why it's really important with YouTube. And again, a lesson I learned over the last almost 2 years is that you need to have a very specific topic for your videos. When I first started, Kim, I started doing vlogs, doing tutorials, doing like Q&A, sort of all over the place. And YouTube didn't really recommend me because they wanted to, but I didn't make it very easy for them to understand what my channel was about, because I didn't have a really big focus, really specific focus. Now, when you're a small channel, you're starting out, pick one topic, and that's, people will tell you differently, but really this is my experience, is pick one topic, talk about that topic, go really deep into that topic, and be the expert for that topic. And that's how you build authority there. Now, once you build an authority on, say, for me, LinkedIn Live or LinkedIn videos, then you can kind of offshoot into other topics, but not too far off, right? I started with LinkedIn videos as sort of the main topic of my channel. That's the main hub. And then I tried to understand what other content, what other topics would that person be interested in. And so it became sort of the how to create videos, right? So LinkedIn, and then now they understand LinkedIn, they want to understand other video platforms or how to create videos. And so that's kind of where my content sort of transitioned into. So that's really the way that you kind of understand who your audience is and what you want to speak to about.
So your recommendation would be to niche the content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. All right.
Absolutely. If you're a big channel, if you're Casey Neistat, you can talk about whatever you want. But if you're growing a smaller channel, then definitely be very specific.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Well, all right. So while we're picking the winners for today, awesome. Rob, can you share with everybody? And Sophie has decided to join us too. So this is a bigger version of the little guy here. So she decided she needed to be seen too. So as we're choosing the winners for today, let everybody know where they can connect with you. Like one of the thoughts I had, and I don't know if you have this on your channel, but definitely share your YouTube channel. But I'm curious, one of the things I think a lot of people are that I would want to know, and maybe others would want to know too, is like just optimizing your channel. Like hopefully you have some content over on YouTube around that. So anyway, share where everybody can connect with you.
Sure. Yeah. You can just find me on YouTube. So you find my channel if you just copy and paste my name. I've got a really long last name, guys, so you might miss a letter. Just copy and paste it on YouTube or LinkedIn or Instagram. That's usually where I hang out. Just copy and paste my name and you'll find my channel on YouTube. Feel free to connect with me there and ask me any questions. I'm super transparent. I love answering questions. So don't be shy. Say hello.
Yeah, Rob is amazing, guys. If you, are just looking for a heart-centered person, he's definitely that person. He'll definitely answer questions and things like that. I always love it when I can connect with people who are, I call it servant-based, who are, really interested in sharing their knowledge and, giving people the connection that they need to up-level their business or even themselves. Relationships are huge. So a ring light winner is Maria. Hey, Maria, I'm so excited you won. You will click on the little message button up above here. I think you're on Facebook. Send message and send us your mailing address. We will get that in the mail to you ASAP. Okay. And then let's see. Next winner is... We're drum roll. I love stuff. So yeah. So thank you, Maria. Yes, Max and Sophie. So they're quite the handful. I can still hold both of them, but little guy is a squirmer. Uh, okay, webcam winner is Justine Clark. So Justine,
All
I'm so excited you
right.
won. Look, if you'll send us your mailing address, we will get that out to you ASAP. And then you'll be able to put this little webcam cover on your webcam, and nobody will be able to spy on you
Nice.
anymore. I think that's a thing. That's kind of
Oh
scary,
yeah.
honestly. So easel
It
winners,
is.
Prashant, Lashisha, I hope I said that right. What a lovely name. And Kathy. Guys, if you will send us not your mailing address, just your email. Really? Stop.
Your
Somebody's being
co-hosts. It's awesome.
here. Yeah. So, I mean, it's nothing like live. Like you just get what you
I
get.
love it.
So
I love it. Yeah.
the of the easel.com trial, which is 3 months. So it's not like just a little trial, it's a big trial. Seriously, dude. Um, it is. So you just get the real life stuff going on when
I
you
know. I
join
love
my
it. I love it. I love it.
but those of you who on the easel trial, just send us your email and we will set you up and get you into easel.com immediately. For those of you who don't know what easel.com is, it is a graphic design resource. It is amazing. It's similar to Canva if you're familiar with Canva. I think the big differences are the quality of the templates are huge. I mean,
Mhm.
they're,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
they have they have graphic designers on their team who create new content every day, and it's really good stuff. So definitely check them out if you haven't. You can sign up for a free account. Um, Good. Elaine says Rob
Oh, thanks, Elaine.
I Google machine and said, how do you pronounce this? So let me see if I get it right. I actually put the little hyphens. I've got it literally over on my screen here. So I've got Balasabas, right? Am I saying that correctly?
That's very close. Balasabas. Balasabas, I guess.
Balas,
But
okay,
Balasabas
so
works too. That works too.
but no, it is. So I'm just curious, like nationality, like
Well, I'm
where does
Filipino.
it?
Well, I mean, I'm from the Philippines, but I'm not really
Okay,
sure
okay,
decades ago. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
yes.
But it's
That's
a cool,
yeah.
challenging
Thanks.
name. It wraps around
Yeah.
your tongue. It's a good
You just got to get the
name.
rhythm right, and it comes out. So
Yeah, excellent. Well, I want to say thank you, huge thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today and your experience with YouTube. Like I said, I know you are, really hitting your rhythm, I think. I've really appreciated a lot of your recent content. I've been following along, watching you evolve on YouTube. So it's been kind of fun. And if like all of you guys that are listening, I hope you'll go subscribe to his channel and, pay attention because you will learn. YouTube is just one of his specialties. He's actually wicked smart in a lot of ways. So, got a
thanks.
lot of background in the online space, and I promise you will learn and pick up from him. So, hopefully, you connect and pick up a nugget or 10 or 20 or 100 or whatever. But thank you,
Thank you
Rob,
so
for
much,
being with.
Kim.
And I want to thank all of you guys who are live with us. I know time is valuable, and when you spend it here, very much appreciated. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves and stay safe, and God bless.